It's funny how the minute you start treating narcissists the way they treat you, they get mad. What does that have to say about what they're doing to you? Because if they treated you well and you just reciprocated their treatment, then they wouldn't be mad about it. But the narcissist isn't in this relationship to help you, to love you. They're in it to win it. They want dominance over your thoughts, your happiness, all your possessions. The narcissist wants complete control of you, and the minute you start to wake up to what narcissism is, when you start, you know, saying, "Why are you yelling at me?" When you start giving them some resistance, they immediately get mad. That's how fragile their mental state is. They're not able to look beyond their own perceptions of reality. And a lot of human beings are like that. I've been that way at certain points in my life where I believed I couldn't stop being depressed. I believed that I was an eternal victim and that I could never get better. And through all sorts of methods, I was able to snap myself out of that perception of reality. But the narcissist has a disorder. They're never going to be able to see, well, never is a very concrete, hard word, but most narcissists, 95 plus percent maybe of them, will never be able to see beyond their own perspective. That's why it's impossible to win arguments with them. They do this very strange thing that normal people don't do, which is, let's say you get into an argument with them and you just, like I said, you reciprocate how they're treating you. If they start to yell at you and then, it's reactive abuse, but if you just, or if you even just point out that, like, why are you yelling at me? In their head, they feel like because they can't see beyond their own perceptions of reality, they feel like you are genuinely attacking them. You're just having boundaries. You're finally sticking up for yourself. But the narcissist sees it as, oh, this person is now my enemy. Before they were my doormat, they were doing everything I said, but now all of a sudden they're giving me resistance. That's why people say the narcissist objectifies you, because they're viewing you kind of like some kind of appliance, like something that is stopped working. We've all done it when, like, our computer stops working and we yell at the computer out of frustration, but it's just something people do, but we know it's an object, so it doesn't have feelings. We can't hurt the computer's feelings. In essence, that is how the narcissist sees you. They yell at you and they have no remorse for yelling at you, for treating you poorly, because to them you are just an extension of their reality. Their distortion of what is them and what is other things is they believe they own things. I've seen it in with my own eyes. There was a point when I broke up with the narcissist and I foolishly decided to remain friends with them. And, I was still lost. I was still, at that point I was aware what narcissism was, but I still was trauma bonded to this person. I still wanted to be in their life, even if it meant just being their friend. Even though narcissists don't really have friends, they have like lackeys, right? They are like the boss of the situation. They don't really have friends. Point being that the narcissist would straight up tell me, like we would, it's that weird thing that exes sometimes do. They'll talk about their new relationships. It's just, which is extremely unhealthy and toxic, but that's a whole nother video. She would literally tell me that that person is mine. I own them, and the look on the look on her face and the expression and like the soulless eyes that she would have while saying these things, when we are so caught up in the trauma bond, when we are so caught up in, or at this point, sometimes people just don't know what narcissism is, we excuse things. But now, in hindsight, when I step back and I see it from a sober mind, when I see it knowing what I know about narcissism, that is an extremely unsettling thing to say, right? Imagine if one of your friends said, "I own that person. That person is mine." And they said it with this cold, dead expression on their face, like they truly believe that person is their property. The narcissist views you that same way. And when then the moment you stop their property, stops, complying with them, they can't handle it because they can't see beyond their own perception. That's why when you leave them after they've abused you in every which way possible, and you're in shambles, when they go out and tell their flying monkeys, when they tell their new victim, their new relationship, that you're a bad person and that you screwed them over, and all these BS lies they tell everyone after the breakup, they truly believe that they in that's how disordered a narcissist mind is. They truly believe that you were the one that victimized them, that they were a perfect angel in that situation, and that you know you should not be trusted. You are a toxic person, and and they're probably, some of them that are more self-aware might even call you the narcissist. So what can we do? Because now you are in this state where you're very confused. You don't know up from down. The first thing that you really need to do is step away from the narcissist. When they are gaslighting you, when they are starting to say that you are the problem, this traps us in many ways. We start feeling guilty. We start to question ourselves because the relationship went so bad so fast. It's jarring, and now we're like, "Is was it me?" And this is just narcissistic abuse. We've gone to a point where our minds are just mashed potatoes from what these terrible people do to us. And sometimes we truly believe that. We start to believe, like, maybe I'm the toxic person, maybe I'm. But the thing is, narcissistic toxic people don't think that. They don't have empathy, and they are not going to think, am I the problem? That's a very clear sign that you aren't the narcissist. If you're like ruminating and feeling bad about like hurting others, the narcissist doesn't feel bad. So you need to step away from this person. And it's tough. The problem here is most people get so stuck in this phase, right? This phase of being abused by the narcissist, that it's very hard to, especially people like, people who really identify as empaths, of people who seem to be codependent on the narcissist. It's really hard to have them snap out of that perspective of reality. And really, the empath and the narcissist are two sides of the same coin. It's why, but the thing is, the empath is they're more savable. You have the ability to change, where the narcissist really doesn't. You have to not be like the narcissist, and be able to, you have the capacity to snap out of that perspective, that perception of reality that the narcissist has brainwashed you into, that believing that you need this person to be happy, believing that this person is the love of your life, and all this BS they lie into you. And the best way, honestly, I found to do this is to just step away from them, in a physical sense. Because when you're around them, there's just have this, they have experience in manipulating and gaslighting you. It's been what, maybe 4 months. This is the longest time I've been no contact with a narcissist, and this is the healthiest I've been since I've met them. Right, like it's gonna be tough to get back to the to the point before I met them, but I'm getting there. But my point is that after 4 months, which is the longest I haven't spoken to the narcissist, I am doing the best. Like everything is up. Like I really can't complain that in from the state that I was in just a few months ago. I was a shell of myself, and now I'm very optimistic about life. I'm really content where I am right now, and that's all because of no contact. There's really not much you can do to change a narcissist's mind. When someone doesn't believe that they are wrong about something, it's incredibly hard to get them to change. Even, healthy, normal people. You see this all the time in like politics and stuff, where it's like even a person that's like doesn't necessarily have a personality disorder, try to get like a hardcore Republican to change their views. It's nearly impossible. The narcissist is honestly, there's no hope there. You have to walk away from them, and that's how you're going to begin to really heal and get better.